Hello again, everyone. This is Armando, DLC Model Builders. I'm beginning another Star Trek ship build, the USS Defiant from Deep Space Nine. It's always been one of my favorite ships in the Star Trek universe. This is the A&T repopped 1/420th scale kit that came out last year. I've been meaning to do this kit for some time, and decided to go ahead and get started on it. I got some aftermarket parts. Evil Duck Creations Jay Barron, I got his Defiant accurizing kit, and lots of parts to it, but no instructions, so I'm going to sort of have to figure out where everything goes, and that'll take some time. I've done some preliminary prep work on the two hull halves already, washed them and put the adhesion promoter on the outside, and I drilled the windows on the bottom half. All of those are done. And I've begun the light blocking on the inside with some black primer. I went ahead and masked off the little circular details that are supposed to light up in blue on the outside. I masked them on the inside so they don't get light blocked, obviously, and I'll more than likely have to mask them on the outside too. But that's as far as I've gotten, so I'll definitely keep you guys apprised as I move along with this kit. I do plan on lighting with Bassard collectors and warp nacelles lighting, as well as strobe and nav lighting, and impulse engine lighting, so should be an interesting build. I'm also hoping to get some customized phaser effects from Ralph. I've talked to him about it. I'm going to send him a video of the Defiant firing the phaser so he gets an idea of how different they are compared to other phaser sequences in the Star Trek universe. So should be a fun build. Anyway, talk to you guys soon. Continuing with my Defiant build, I have light blocked and primered with black and then with white on the inside of both halves of the hull. Here is the top half, and there on the box is the bottom half. I'm working on the snout, as you can see, waiting for the primer to dry. And I'll tell you right now a couple of things that I have figured out with this build that are chronic problems. I get these cracks with the primer when I lay it on thick, which of necessity I have to. And obviously when you do that, here's what happens. You get light leaks right along the cracks. So what I did to resolve that was I decanted some of the primer into a cup, simply sprayed it in there, and then using a paintbrush I painted right over those and fixed it. And that's how I fixed that problem on both halves of the hull. So that's the first tip I will tell you about that I've discovered with this build, which is a problem that I had in the past and I didn't really have a good solution for. The second one, I masked off these circular details on the top, which, as you know, are illuminated in blue, and I masked them off to allow the whole ring to be exposed. But what happened was, when I checked to see how well masked off it was, I got this really bad halo effect, which you could see right there around this. So I went back and I analyzed the situation and decided that there was probably too much light going in through the whole ring, so I decided to mask off, in other words light block, the outer donut thing, and I did it with some Testors enamel black. Here's what I did on the other side. I simply just painted the donut and left the center open, and here's the result. So here's the one with a halo, and here's the ones that are painted. Hardly any halo at all. In fact, there is no halo. What you're looking at is a shine from the light itself. But when I do that, get a lot of light from this other light. Let me show you. Okay. The halo is basically gone, as opposed to here, where it's still there. So my point and the key to the whole thing is to light block everything except the center of the donut. So here's with the blue light, so you can see how significant the effect is. See, that's just not acceptable. But on the other side, the one that I've already painted, it's still wet, so I'm trying to be careful with it. Well, you get a little bit, but in person you don't see it. It's only the camera or somewhere exposing around it. There you go. So that's another discovery I made with this build. I guess it must have something to do with the light transmitting through the donut and out into the plastic, because even though you block the plastic, areas where light can go in tangentially will shine right through the layers of your light block and show up as a halo. I've seen this effect before in other builds. I saw it in the chaser effect of the refit shuttle bay. I attenuated it as best I could, but one thing which I mentioned in that build was if you don't want the effect, you have to light block the inside of the hole so that the light doesn't go through the plastic. But anyway, getting back to the Defiant, light block your donut. Okay, the other thing I'm going to do, which I think I'd like better, I was looking at Boyd's video of this build a couple of years ago, from a couple of years ago, and he put some sideways like this. I think I'm just going to put a strip of plastic over it and place them so it's right on top of it, because this doesn't give enough light. They look too faint. I want them to shine a little brighter, not intensely so, but enough so that it looks like there's some energy going through there. But anyway, I've been analyzing the ship's lighting configuration. I know that the Bussard collectors are red, they're on the front. The warp engines will have blue on the back. I've seen some builds where there's navs on the sides and some where there's not. I think I'm going to do mine with the navs on the side. They'll be here on either side. The deflector will be blue. The accurized bridge from the Evil Ducks workshop kit will have a light shining down on the USS Defiant decal. There'll be a light here. I think it's going to be a strobe. There's going to be lights here and here, and these I'm not going to light up. I think I'm going to leave them alone. But I have to look some more. I'll look at some more captures and video clips from the show to see. As you know, not every scene is the same, and the model sometimes looked one way and sometimes it looked the other. So I'll decide the amalgamation that I like the best, and that's what I'll do. But anyway, this is coming right along. Neat little build. Not too many parts, so putting it together isn't that difficult. There'll be a few technical issues. This thing is designed so that if you press on it, you could screw up your seam. So I may put some support rods in the center or a support sheet of plastic to give it more rigidity. Haven't decided how I'm going to do that yet, but I certainly don't want, once I put this thing together and I've taken care of the seam, which will be a bear, I can tell already, I don't want it to come back with a simple crush motion on my hand one time when I grab it. So that'll be something to work on. Anyway, I'll talk to you soon. Continuing with the USS Defiant, I have added a few more things and customized a few more things. Let's go through them. This is part of the Evil Duck Workshop's accurizing kit from J. Barron. I've had to figure out where everything goes basically by looking at reference pictures on the web. I found a beautiful studio scale build which was extremely helpful in Starship in Modeler Magic. It's a build by Richard Long and Dan Grumeretz, which was posted in January of 2014, and you guys can look it up. It's in Modeler Magic. Incredible pictures of this model, and the detail work, especially in the engines, the impulse and the warp engines, really helped me figure out where most of these parts go. I still have a couple of minor pieces that I don't know where they go, but I'll get to those eventually. And as I assemble them, I'll show you where these parts go. These are all parts of the warp nacelles. They go on the inside. I'll have to cut these out, and these things go on the inside, and they'll provide detail. The blue LED strips will go in there and they will shine everything up, and it'll look amazing. As for what I've been doing now, these are detail parts for this here. I cut out one of them last night using my Dremel kit. Still got the other one to do. Here's the part right here. The detail bridge. Can't remember if I talked to you guys about it on the previous one. If not, I'll go ahead and do it anyway. I added an SMD, a 603, is it? The intermediate one. I got it into position there and wedged it in a little cut that I made on the ledge, and threaded it through a hole and out the bottom. And I aimed it so it shines down towards where the registry will go, and I think I've done a fairly decent job. I might go ahead and fill in a little bit of that with putty, because it is not supposed to be so separated, but I'll see when I get there. We talked about the need for the enamel for the light blocking, and that's fine. The other thing that I saw on this studio scale build that I really loved and decided I wanted to do with mine was this right here. They illuminate these grills in the back. They paint the detail black or dark gray and then illuminate in the back. I don't know that I can get it so crisp, but in looking at this, I figured, well, I already have it light blocked in the back. What happens if I scrape off the in-betweens? And that's what I did. See, the other side's not done yet, and when I do that, lo and behold, I get shine through, so that means I can do it on the other side and make a light box and put some red SMDs or red LED strips in there, and I will achieve the effect. I may not get the cross lines that they have there, but that's okay. If I can get this thing to shine black and then paint the detail, I mean shine red and paint the detail in black, this is going to look really cool. So that's what I've been working on. This is a detail part for the deflector dish, and it was broken. Came in a couple of pieces, so I've put it back together again, and I'm letting it dry with some CA glue. Hopefully it won't stick to the blade, but it was the only way I could do it without keeping it from sticking to the oh boy, it's sticking to the bench. Okay, anyway, that's what I've been doing so far. Still a lot of detail work. I ordered the board from Starling for the rapid pulse fire phasers and quantum torpedoes, as well as the nav and strobe lights, and that'll be here in a couple of days. So this is coming along. I'm really excited at possibilities that I can do with this kit, and I'll keep you abreast of what's going on. Talk to you soon.